Dhamma greetings to everybody. Welcome to another Dhamma meeting where we will discuss the Buddhist practices of charity, morality, and meditation. Everyone who is interested is welcome to join and ask any question that you feel like knowing. We'll start with our first participant tonight, which is Kok Seng from Singapore.
Good evening, Ajaan. I have no questions at the moment. Thank you, Ajaan.
Okay. Yok Bay from New York. Are you back in New York now?
Yes, Queen Prajan, yes.
And your friend is still in Thailand, still practicing at the monastery?
Oh, yes, since doing well.
Good. Maybe she won't come back home anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, she's a second home from the local old Thais monastery, yeah.
Yes, that's good. You have any question tonight?
Yes, I do. My meditation, right, when my day off, I will doing my meditation. Could I doing? I sit down 1 hour, no problem. I would like to increase my 2 hours. How I can do it?
You have to increase your mindfulness. So when you finish meditating, you have to get up and do more mindfulness practice by walking meditation. Or if you have to do any work, just focus on your work or recite the mantra along with what you do. Don't let your mind think about other things. Then when the next time you sit, you might be able to sit longer. Or if you, after 1 hour, you want to get up, you can force yourself to continue sitting by reciting a mantra or chanting to get more mindfulness so that you will be able to continue sitting for another hour.
Oh, okay.
So you need to use mindfulness. When you feel like you want to get up, you should start reciting mantra again or keep chanting. Or if you cannot do that, then you get up and do walking meditation. Or if you have to do something, just keep focusing on what you do. Don't let your mind go think about other things. This is another way of maintaining mindfulness after you finish with your meditation. So that the next time when you meditate, you might be able to sit longer.
Okay, noted. Thank you, Prajan. Thank you.
Okay. Next is Kwan Lee Man from Malaysia.
Thank Ajaan. Yeah. Thank Ajaan, when I was talking and listening to Thank Ajaan in person, I feel a total emptiness. I feel Thank Ajaan was empty and I feel myself was empty and can only feel the present moment listening to Thank Ajaan when I was at the monastery. And there were no other thoughts. Now, I suppose this is the magical experience of being in the present moment with a great teacher. How can I maintain this good mindfulness even without the presence of Thank Ajaan?
Or you just try to focus on what you do, reciting mantra, and don't pay attention to anything. Just like when you were with your teacher, you didn't pay attention to anything about your teacher. So you get mindfulness from doing that. I think it's more psychological. When you see someone and you feel you have to be more focused. Yeah. But when you're away from your teacher, then you have nothing to focus. So you have to focus on your body, learn to focus on your body.
Okay.
Keep watching your body, every movement of your body. And watch whether you're thinking about anything else or not. If you're thinking, you should stop and tell yourself, come back to watch your body. Okay.
Yeah. Then Ajahn, another question, please. Sometimes when there is no thought, the mind is not thinking. So it's not. That means the mind is. When we talk about mindfulness, we are talking of looking at what is happening inside and not what is happening outside. So let's say that's why we have to maintain mindfulness by chanting a mantra or observing the body.
Yes,
But
you need to have something to anchor the mind. Normally, if there's no anchor, the mind will drift with the defilement. Defilement want to think about people and places and things. So you have to have something to stop it from drifting, like mantra.
Okay. Ajahn, but sometimes if there is no thought and no thinking of nothing happening inside or outside, it's just quiet. Do we continue to chant the mantra and observe the body, or we can just take a break?
You can take a break and see what happens. If your mind starts to think again, then you have to stop it again.
Yeah, and then after that, when thought arises, then the mind will contemplate and investigate again.
No, you shouldn't contemplate. When you practice mindfulness, you want to stop thinking. Contemplating is just also thinking.
Oh, so what if a stubborn thought arises? Do we keep the
just
mindfulness?
ignore it and just come back to your mantra or chanting.
Okay.
Don't pay attention to the thoughts. They still can keep coming because your mindfulness is not continuous yet.
So when is the time to contemplate?
Oh, long time. Right now, you want to have mindfulness and samadhi first. Contemplation is not important right now. It doesn't do you any good. So don't worry about it.
Okay. So keep chanting the mantra, observe the body.
Yes, to stop thinking.
Stop thinking.
Because when you contemplate, you start to think. And you only contemplate for maybe just a few seconds, then your mind drifts with the defilement and think about other things anyway. So right now the goal is to stop thinking as much as possible. So that when you meditate, you can get your mind to jhana. Once you have jhana, then you can contemplate. After you come out of jhana, then you can contemplate. Right now you should contemplate. You should stop thinking.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, thank you, Ajahn.
All right. Professor Ken of Switzerland. Bergdorf, I just look at your profile.
Good afternoon, Ajahn. That's the town I used to live in, but now I moved from there.
I see.
I didn't update
how far away from the old place?
Oh, it's about 1 hour on the public transport. Yeah.
And it's called the town?
It's called Biel, B-I-E-L.
Okay, Biel.
It's a quite medium town. It's
that's a well-known town, I think.
Yeah, it's bilingual, so half is French, half is German. So I'm learning French now as well.
Good. So you'll be bilingual or trilingual.
Multilingual or something. Yeah.
Any questions tonight?
Yes, Ajahn, I have a question. I notice when I'm working, when I sometimes get the chance to be very concentrated in one single task, maybe for, 5 or 6 hours, especially when I'm writing something, this can bring quite a good concentration and a certain amount of calm. So could Ajaan comment on the relationship between this kind of concentration and the concentration of the normal meditation practice?
The difference is when you do work, you still have to think about your work. Your mind still keeps turning with your thoughts. So you'll find it difficult when you meditate to stop it from thinking. You might be thinking about your work again when you're still meditating. But if you do work that you don't need to think, then when you meditate, then there wouldn't be much thought to deal with. So that's a difference. When you have to work on a project, on something, planning, you have to think. But you concentrate. You have mindfulness, but you don't stop thinking.
Okay.
It's a different kind. This is what we call wrong mindfulness, according to the path. Right mindfulness is not to think. Concentrate, but no thoughts. Concentrate on what you do. Like if you're working something simple like washing, mopping, eating, this work that you don't need to think so much. You can just observe, just keep looking. You want to stop your thought because your thought is the one that's blocking your mind from entering into jhana. So that's a difference.
Yeah.
But it's a good, you get half of the result, get half of the benefit, right? You learn to concentrate. You know how to concentrate now. But the next step is to concentrate without thinking. So you have to do this on your day off when you're not working. And then you can then try to concentrate on what you do without thinking. Yeah. If you can do that, when you meditate, you'll find that your mind can become calm easily and quickly. So it's the thought that wants to stop.
Okay.
Good, understand?
Understand, Ajaan. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, fine. I'll go to Willie now. Willie from Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have any questions. Thank you.
Okay, Willie also from Malaysia. Oh, from Malaysia.
Good
not
evening,
Indonesia.
Good evening, Ajaan. Today I don't have any question. Thanks.
Okay, Claudia, Srida, or Swiner, I'm not sure.
Good afternoon from Germany. Claudia is enough. So actually you say Swiner, but Claudia is okay.
Yeah, Claudia.
Yeah.
You're not teaching today, you're not working today.
No, we have about 2 weeks winter
Christmas
vacation.
holiday.
Yes, holiday. Yeah, and I enjoyed very much because the recent weeks had been exhausting at school. Everybody was in a bad mood and I tried to keep the good mood, but it was really a challenge. So I work at an elementary school and all the teachers are completely over-challenged here in Germany. So
Is this a special needs school also?
no, it's a regular elementary school, but it's also for special needs children, and my student is mentally challenged. So we have one mentally challenged student in our class, and I care for him personally. So this is why I'm hired at school.
Okay. Yeah, do you have any question or any report?
Yeah, I still do the translation of Beyond Birth, and I still love the book very much. It's wonderful. So currently I'm at the, how can I say it in English? Currently I translate the pages when you decided to leave work and to meditate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the end of, I think, the year 1973.
Yes.
At the end of 73, I started working, and 74, I practiced all year long.
Yeah. 1973, I was 3 years old. Yeah, so I don't have any questions yet, maybe later. Thank you.
Okay, bye. Go to Rusli from Indonesia.
Evening, Ajahn. I don't have any question. Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Ralph Deboa, Hua Yai. Is that right? Or Nong Pru? I'm sorry.
Nong Pru,
Nong
Tan
Pru.
Ajahn, Namatsagan.
Okay.
Nice to see you again. Just quickly like to share something. I was invited by some friends to come and visit the north of Kalasin province, and had the opportunity to visit Wat Pa Bantar, which was very inspirational. Specifically because I was also reading your translation of the fourth desanas, the talks that Ajahn Mahabua was giving, and it was a great experience, just visiting there and seeing also the videos I'd seen before of the temple. It was really nice. I do have a question. One has been playing in my mind, and it's to do with pain, how to deal with pain. Now this, I'm talking about simple kinds of pain. For example, when I sit and meditate, typically after, I don't know, 3/4 of an hour, I start getting sore knees or sore hip. And I'm just wondering, typically I deal with these things as a message from my body to say, okay, you need to do something. But then, when I listen, particularly reading the teachings of Ajahn Mahabua, is sometimes you just got to carry on. And then just wondering if you have some advice how to deal with that kind of situation.
Yes, the way to deal with painful feeling coming from the body, there are two ways. The first one, the easier one, and the harder one. The easier one is to ignore the pain and keep focusing on a mantra or on chanting. Just ignore, don't give any attention to the pain, and focus on your reciting of the mantra, Bhutto, Bhutto. Keep chant. If you know some chant, just keep chanting. If you keep focused, stay with the chant or the mantra, you'll forget about the pain temporarily. And then the pain will not bother your mind. Especially after you chant for a while, your mind can become calmer, and it can remain non-reacting to the pain. So this is the first method, the easy one. The second method is to use wisdom or insight, using common sense really to treat the pain as something that you have to learn to live with. It's a natural process, a natural phenomena. That pain come and go, and there's no other way of getting rid of it, and unless you die or you're not having a body. But as long as you have a body, you will have to meet the pain from the body. And the best way to deal with it is to accept it. Instead of trying to deny it or trying to get rid of it, just absorb it, just embrace it, treat it as like an old friend coming to visit you.
Quite.
Yeah.
Quite. But what I tend to do is when it gets too painful to sit for a long period, I stand up and change to walking meditation. And it's kind of a balance for me, there's this pain, and then there's, say I'm relating this to sitting and meditating again. If I keep on sitting, later on when I try to stand up, it's very hard to stand up. I get all wobbly. So I kind of understand the ignoring the pain, and understand the accepting of the pain. We all have pain. I'm just trying to deal with it in a common sense manner is I guess what I'm looking for.
Yeah, if you move your body, sometimes you can alleviate the pain, but sometimes when you get to the point where your body becomes sick, doesn't matter which position you're in, it will still. So that's the reason why we want to use this method of mindfulness or wisdom, to deal with it, because we're going to have to meet the type of pain that we cannot just diminish or get rid of it. So in that case, we either have to accept it or calm our mind and just ignore it.
Quite. Yes,
But-
I understand. I understand. One may experience great pain at the time of death, for example.
That's right.
And to get involved in the pain would be counterproductive in trying to get a better future life, or to be mindful, in other words, at the time of death.
That's right. So that once you know how to deal with pain in your future life, you will know how to deal with it, because it goes with your mind. Something you have learned or you have trained your mind to do. So this will go with you. So in your future life, you will find no difficulty, no problem with painful feeling.
Thank you, Thanajan.
Okay, you're welcome. Next, Carolyn Yao. Carolyn, where are you from?
Good evening, Thanajan. This is actually Forrest Tong. Carolyn Yao is my mom. I'm using my mom's iPad account.
Yeah, good. You still in Boston?
Yes, well, right now I'm just visiting some family over the holidays. I have a 1-week visit with my family, but I'm still at Temple Forest Monastery in New Hampshire as a Pakao.
I see. How long you been there now?
About 1 year.
Okay. You find it fruitful, beneficial?
Yes, I do. Yeah, I feel that it's helping my practice to keep advancing. Sometimes it's still a little bit busy as a Pakao because we're still doing some cooking and driving, but I plan to continue staying there. So if next year I'm allowed to continue become a Samanera, then I'll no longer have to do the cooking and driving. But in general, it's still very nice to be able to live in the forest and have some time for seclusion. And we have our 3-month winter retreat from January through March. All the work is going to stop, so we'll have some more time for intensive practice.
How many months are there?
I think about 10 monks, something like that.
10 months. Okay.
Yeah.
And what tradition they belong to? Ajaan Chah?
So, yeah, Ajaan Chah, Ajaan Sumedo.
Good. So they teach the same thing we teach here: mindfulness, meditation, and wisdom.
Yeah. Yeah, it is based on mindfulness. It's kind of presented in a different way. So I'm still absorbing the teachings. I haven't fully understood the different style of teaching that they do. But yeah, at its core, it's still mindfulness. And it's very helpful for me to join this meeting and get a reminder of your teachings, Thanajan, since I think sometimes still, I tend to make the practice more complicated than it needs to be. Like, thinking about things instead of just stopping thinking and being more simple. So.
Yes, this is the direct method to stop thinking.
Yeah. But then I started getting doubts, and then I start thinking because, I feel like I'm not practicing this thing.
That's why you shouldn't be thinking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you have anything tonight to ask? Any question?
No questions. Just wanted to pay my respects to Thanajan. So,
okay, good to see you. With almost 1 year since you went to the monastery.
Yes.
Okay. I hope you can stick to the path and continue with your path to enlightenment.
Okay.
You're getting nearer now. You're getting nearer now. So don't move back. Don't retreat. Keep pushing forward.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Thanajan. Your encouragement is really helpful. So thank you.
Okay. Fine. Next, I'll go to Gary from Singapore. Gary.
Good evening, Thanajan. No questions for me right now. Thank you.
Okay, Ubeka, Alfredo from Brazil.
Hi, Bante.
It's summer for you now, right? It's summer in your country.
Yes, yes.
What's the temperature? What's the temperature?
Rain, Bante, raining, Bante.
Rain, okay.
It's 50 to 12, 20 graus.
50 to 20.
Yeah, 20. Yeah, a little raining.
I see.
In Christmas, always raining in Brazil.
Okay. Instead of snow, you have rain.
Yes, yes.
Rainy Christmas.
A little rain.
Yeah.
Not very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And the peoples are dating, but are commemorate Christmas, the end of year, and a lot of commemorations.
Yes.
A lot of sensual pleasures, Bante.
That's right. That's what people live with.
Yes.
People live for sensual pleasures.
Yes.
Because they don't know how to meditate.
Yes.
If they know how to meditate, they'll find meditation is much better, happiness, than sensual pleasure.
Yes. If meditate, okay, né, Bante? If a good, Bante, the Arya Sangha live to Four Noble Truth, né, Bante? What is live for Noble Truth? Is you live to thinking about the things, combination with Four Noble Truth, the right effort, the right action, the right speak, the right thinking, the right knowledge. The live with Four Noble Truth is together, is all things equilibrate, Bante. All things okay. The Arya Sangha is people that have a situation of control, with control.
Well, see, the Arya Sangha understand that the stress that doesn't come from things or people, but they come from their own defilement, their own cravings. So they try to reduce or eliminate the cravings from the mind, or desire, or want, or expectation. These are the cause of the stress or dukkha in the mind, not people or things outside. People we see, things we see, people we see, they're not the cause of our stress. Our stress is our desire or our cravings for things or people to be good, be happy, but we cannot, but they're not always good and they're not always happy. So we try to reduce our expectation, our want, our desire, and try to just to accept things as they are.
Yes.
Then there will be no stress or dukkha in the mind. This is the noble truth. The first two noble truths, stress and the cause of stress. The cause of stress are sensual desire, desire for being, desire for not being something. So this is what we try to eliminate from the mind. Once we can eliminate this desire from the mind, then there will be no stress in the mind. Yes. That's how the Arya Sangha live, constantly trying to get rid of their defilement, their desire, their cravings.
Yes. The knowing, Bante.
Yeah.
The knowledge of knowing.
To make the mind just to be merely knowing, but not wanting or desiring.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay, Bante.
good.
They're
Next.
planning to 23 years next year.
Ah,
For
23
Noble
trees.
Truth. Exactly for Noble Truth.
Okay, Happy New Year.
For you too, Bante.
Okay. Next, Belinda from Singapore.
No question, Ajahn. Thank you.
Any question tonight?
Happy New Year. No questions.
Okay. Go to B. Ravin. Ravin from Bangkok, Thailand.
Hi, good evening, Ajahn. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next few days. I'll be going to Pattaya for the new year.
Okay.
We'll attend one of your afternoon Dharma sessions in front of your kuti.
Yeah. I have 4 days of talk from the 30th to the 2nd, I think, because it's a holiday. People coming to listen to Dhammatalk. So I'm obligated or forced to do it.
High season, 4 days in a row.
Yeah, 4 days in a row. Okay, you have any question tonight?
Yes, Ajahn. Just reflecting on sensual pleasures. The real root cause of us having sensual pleasures is because we are unable to teach the mind to see the real benefit from meditation, right? That's why the mind seeks sensual pleasure instead of...
We don't know that we have the best happiness within ourselves. So when we don't have happiness, we cannot find happiness within ourselves. Then we go and look outside of the mind for happiness. By thinking that by being wealthy, by being famous, by being, being able to buy and to do anything you want will make you happy. Which it made you happy temporarily when you could do it. But when you could not do it, then it can become a problem. So we constantly running into stress and suffering because we don't know that these things that we go after are something we cannot always keep or always maintain to give us happiness all the time. So whenever these things are not under our control, then we get dukkha, we get stressed. But if we can meditate, then we can always control our meditation. We can always have this happiness within ourselves. It's so much simpler because you don't have to rely on anything. You don't have to rely on body. You don't have to rely on sensual objects to produce this sensual pleasure. All you need to do is mindfulness and wisdom. This is what we call avijja, or ignorance. Not knowing that we have the real happiness within ourselves. So we are deluded to both look after things outside of the mind. So we need, in order to have happiness outside of the mind, we need to have a body. So we have to go take birth to purchase a body. That's like buying a car. If you have to go travel, you need a car, right? But if you're happy staying at home, then there is no need for you to have a car. The same way, similar. If you're happy with yourself, with your mind, if the mind can make itself happy, then it doesn't need to go after sensual objects, sensual pleasures. But since it doesn't know how to make the mind itself happy, so it has to go after sensual pleasure, which requires the mind to go take birth, take on a body. And each time it takes a body, then the body is a heap of problem. You have to maintain it, you look after it. Then no matter how well you take care of it, then you will still have to get old, the body will still have to get old, get sick and die. So you're just running into a lot of problems, a lot of stress, a lot of, if you're seeking happiness outside yourself, outside of your mind. So only the Buddha knows this. The Buddha discovered. So he teaches us to reverse our way of seeking pleasure. Instead of going outside, come inside by doing mindfulness meditation. When you recite a mantra or watching your breath, you're pulling your mind away from the body.
So the true happiness is actually something that is very near to us. We spend all this time searching for so many things to satisfy us, whereas the real happiness is just right here.
Yeah, they're going to Mars now, going to the moon now. Before they were living in Europe, so they went to America. Once they got to America, it's not enough. Now they have to go to space to seek for happiness. No matter where you go in this world, in this physical world, physical universe, there is no lasting happiness. And they don't give you contentment. Like the peace of mind that you get from meditation. You get contentment, so you don't feel you need or want to have anything. You can be happy having nothing. That's why the Buddha called Nibbana the supreme emptiness, the supreme nothing, having nothing. Not even the body. You don't need to have a body. When you have no body, then you don't have to worry about the body. Once you have the body, then you have to worry about it, look after it. And no matter how well you look after it, it's gonna get old, get sick, and die anyway. So that's the wrong path of happiness, by going after the sensual objects. By wealth, going after wealth and fame, and these are the wrong way. The right way is to come inside your mind, using mindfulness to stop your mind from thinking, because your thought is the one that leading your mind away, the mind away from the mind, leading it toward the sensual objects. Normally, when you think, what do you think about? Places to go and see, things to eat, food, things to drink, things to watch. That's all you think about. You all think about sensual pleasures. Like New Year, everybody's thinking about counting down. Sensual pleasure, looking at the fireworks, makes them happy temporarily. Or see the Christmas lights on the trees, makes you happy already. But briefly, after New Year, after Christmas, it's all gone. Back to work again, because you run out of money to spend.
Doesn't last.
If you meditate, you don't have to spend any money. Stay at home, meditate. Then you have a lot of saving. All the money you earn, you can save because you don't need to spend it. But then even you don't need any money, why work in the first place? Why spend more time meditating rather than working? So try to meditate, try to develop mindfulness. This is first you need to do is mindfulness, to stop your thinking as much as possible. So that when you meditate, you won't have much difficulty to stop the mind completely. When the mind becomes still completely, then you experience a sense of peace, happiness that you have never experienced before in your life.
Yes.
Once you do it, once you have this, then you don't want anything else. Yeah. The taste of Dhamma is the most excel all other tastes. So all you need to do is just get a sample of this happiness. Once you can, even briefly, a few seconds when you first meditate, if you succeed in your first meditation success, it usually lasts very briefly. We call Kanika Samadhi. But then it's enough to attract you for the rest of your life.
Yes.
So try to get to this point. Once you get to this point, then you reach the point of no return. You won't go back to sensual pleasure. You still go back from time to time, because when you're not mindful, then your defilement can always pull you away from your meditation practice. But as you develop more and more, and your mindfulness becomes stronger and stronger, and coupled with your wisdom to see that sensual pleasure is really dukkha, not happiness, then eventually you won't go back. Is that the question you have tonight?
Yeah, that answers my question. So basically, all we need is just mindfulness, jhana, and wisdom. That will get us to nibbana. We don't need a body to get us to nibbana.
Well, right now you need a body. You need a strong body, because if your body gets sick, then it can become a hindrance. When you get sick, you don't feel like doing anything. But once you are developed in the practice, then you won't need the body. You can practice in any situation, and whatever situation the body might be in. Whether it's old, whether it's sick, or it's dying, you can still practice. But when you haven't yet established that ability, you still need a good body, a healthy body. Okay.
So we need the body to teach, for the mind to teach ourselves that we don't need it.
Yeah, you need a body right now, because if you die, you cannot practice. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Because you cannot listen to Dhammatalk in the first place. You have no you cannot learn how to practice. So you need a body. The body is your means of learning, and also your means of application to your learning. Applying what you learn, you need a body to do it. Like walking meditation, maintaining mindfulness. But once you have developed mindfulness and wisdom, then you don't need the body.
Yeah, understood, Thanajan. Thank you.
Okay. Next, Get Yen So from Penang. No question, I cannot hear you, but I presume you don't have any question. Okay. Okay, I'll go to Philip and Adeline. Are you in Pattaya now or in Banampur?
Good evening, Thailand.
Good evening, Ajaan. Where we are?
We are nearby your temple.
Yeah, quite near.
The
Yeah.
village, the fishing village where I go to.
Yes.
Have you taken a walk around the village?
Yeah,
Not yet,
short
walk.
around, yeah, because when we arrived, it was already around sunset.
I see.
Maybe later on.
Yeah, the hotel is right on the beach, so you can have a sea view of the panoramic view of the sea. It's a quiet village, really. At night, I think it's pretty quiet.
It is, yes, it is.
Mm.
Yes.
Used to be a sleepy fishing village, but then the people transformed the business. Before they used to sell, or they go fish and then they fry fish to sell fish. Now they convert into a seafood restaurant instead.
Oh, okay. I see. I see.
Next door.
Yeah, you have a seafood restaurant next door.
Yeah.
There are a few of them around the village.
Yeah.
People who like seafood would then go to these places for fresh seafood.
Yeah, but we took all the ones that already did, not the live ones.
Yeah. Because you are Buddhist.
Yes, we just told them, yeah, all the dead ones. Yeah. The more veggie, I think.
You'll be at the hotel tomorrow morning when I go on my bintabat.
Yes.
See you tomorrow morning. Yes.
Yes. See you tomorrow.
Okay. But 6:20, 6:30, I think, 6:30.
Okay, 6:30. Thanajan, I got a question with regards to rebirth, with regards to a stream enterer. During the next rebirth, will the stream enterer remember the teaching of the Buddha, or must he chance upon things, like the four noble truths, or the three characteristics of existence, and then it sparks him that there's something which is missing, and then he goes on investigating and continues from there?
No, he knows the Four Noble Truths by heart. He never forget the Four Noble Truths. But the level of the Four Noble Truths that he sees only with the khandhas, with the body and the feelings, but not the higher ones in the mind yet. He has established. So he still has some more work to do. Sotapanna understands the nature of the body and feelings, and he can let go of them because he sees them as the natural phenomena. They are work of nature, the body, and the feelings also a work of nature, like the weather, keep changing. Your feeling keep changing from good feeling to bad feeling to neutral feeling. And you cannot force them to only produce good feeling. Although you want to try, but you cannot stop it from creating or changing into bad feeling, painful feelings. Like when you get sick, or when you get hungry, or you get tired, you get painful feeling from the body. And some of this you can diminish or deal with, but there are some that beyond your ability. So when there's something beyond your ability, then you will have to learn to cope with it, live with it, accept it, and not be hurt by it. So this is what Sotapanna has already dealt with. So next life when he's born, he has no problem with getting old, getting sick or die. But what he hasn't dealt with yet is he still have this sexual desire to have sex with other people. So this is what he will next on the agenda for him is to get rid of the sexual desire. But because he can see that when he has sexual desire, it causes his mind to be restless or agitated. And normally with a deluded mind, the way to deal with your restlessness when you have sexual desire is to have sex, right? To release, they say, release your restlessness and agitation. But this is only a temporary solution because after a few days, it comes back again, your sexual desire. So the way to get rid of it permanently is to see the body as unpleasant, not good looking. Because the cause of your sexual desire is the opposite, because you see the body as good looking. So you have to switch your perception of the body the other way around. Look at the other side of the body. The body is like a coin. It has two sides to it. But we only want to look only on the good side, the pleasant side. We don't want to look, we don't know that we should look on the unpleasant side as well. If we look at the unpleasant one, then our sexual desire can be eliminated from our mind. So this is the next two steps that the Sotapanna has to do to contemplate on a Asupa. And if he reached 50% point mark in which he can see the body as unpleasant 50% of the time, then he's considered to have attained to the second level of enlightenment. But if he can continue on his contemplation and be able to see Asupa at all times, every time he sees the body and every time there's sexual desire, he can bring this unpleasant or Asupa perception to smash or to get rid of the sexual desire right away. Then he reached the third stage of enlightenment, an anagami. when you reach this third state, then you no longer have anything to do with the body anymore, because you see the body as dukkha. You don't want to have anything to do with, not to have a body, not to use the body for your sexual desire purpose. So you will no longer be reborn as a human from that point on. But you still have some other issue you have to deal with, which is the state of your mind. Your mind still have changing states, happy state and unhappy state in your mind. So you don't have to take rebirth as human anymore. You will continue as a spiritual being and get rid of the dukkha arising from your desire. You still have this desire for the mind to have good feeling inside, not the physical feeling, just the mental feeling. You understand there are two types of feeling, physical one.
Yes, Ajahn, yes.
Sometimes you have your physical feeling is okay, but your mental feeling can be bad. You worry about something, you're afraid of something. Although your body is good, no painful feeling, but you still have this mental feeling to deal with. So you have to understand the nature of the feeling, the mental feeling as being anicca, dukkha, anatta, and try to learn to live with it and know how to deal with it. Sometimes you can deal with by using mindfulness to stop your mental feeling, because most of your mental feeling are created by your thoughts. Thinking about something, thinking about your financial problem, and you get worried. But you can stop thinking about it, or if you use wisdom and say, financial thing is constantly changing. You cannot always predict what's going to happen. So the best way to deal with financial problem is not to rely on financial. Try to live simple. Don't try to rely on money to give you happiness, to make you happy. So you will continue on solving this problem, which are the consequence of your mind thinking wrongly.
Yes, Ajahn. So is it then when a child, I mean, a Sotapanna is born as a child, I mean, at a very early stage, the child would already know that have abandoned the three factors, and they will.
Oh yes, yeah. It shows no sign of being, when it's painful, it doesn't cry or doesn't complain or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
It shows no sign of fear when it's left alone or something like that.
I see.
So it's a gifted child, a Sotapanna, different from other child.
Okay. Understand.
But it's still attracted to beautiful bodies. Okay.
Okay.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
Okay. Next, Celine Tan from Maryland. She usually enters the Thai room. Is she in the wrong room?
No, good evening, Prajan. I got lucky today that usually I have my Tuesday conference call, so I couldn't participate on Tuesday with you, but it got canceled today. So I have a chance to come and pay respect to you. I have no question, but last week there was, I think, one moment that was it's like touching my mind. Right now it's winter break and my daughter just went to visit her dad in Dominican Republic, so I'm home alone. And in a sudden I was just thinking of, like, what if I die today, or what if I have a heart attack and something's like bad happening to me and no one would find me. I would be dead at home alone, and and my daughter doesn't even have a key to enter the house. So once I had that thought, a second thought came up right away, and I'm not sure if the second thought has come up with sati or not. Because right after I thought of my death, my second thought came up and said, "You're nonsense. Why haven't you take all what you learned and then apply to your life? Even you die, and it's just die." So when I thought of that, I said to myself, is my second thought is also a thought that come with sati, or why is it come up that way?
Because you have been training your mind that way. So when things happen, then it will react according to the way it's being trained to react. So actually, you should train your mind to think that the body is not you. So when you feel that you have a heart attack, it's not you who have the heart attack. Yeah.
So if it's actually
you're
really
the mind, your mind who just possess this body temporarily. And one day you and the body will have to be separated anyway.
So if I keep thinking that way and it's actually happened, what would happen to my soul?
Your mind will be peaceful and not afraid of death.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's just like I was just talking about earlier, Sotapanna. See, so next time you have a new body, you will not be, you have no worry about the body, anxiety about the body.
So if I keep training my soul, my thought about like getting tired of the rebirth, like how many lifetimes have I been back here and then suffering the same issue over and over? Can I think of it that way as well?
Yes, but that doesn't solve the problem. The problem is you have to see the body as not being you. You and the body are two separate entities.
Okay.
The body is just your servant. You are the master of the body. You're the one who tells the body what to do, to get up, to walk, to talk. Right now, it's the mind telling the body to do it. Without the mind, it will be a dead corpse. It will be just a corpse lying. So when the body dies, then you have to leave it. Then it's up to the living to do with what the body they come across. They'll probably dispose it somehow.
Okay. Thank you, Prajaan. This is all my question.
Okay, so try to teach your mind. The body is anatta, not yourself. It's a work of nature. It comes from the 4 elements. Okay. It's like a doll. You're the owner of the doll. You play with it. But one day the doll will stop, living, will stop breathing. And you have to throw the doll away, right?
And just have to let.
Yeah, that's all. You and the body are not the same. You're not the body. You're the mind, the one who tells the body what to do.
I will continue practicing. Thank you very much, Prajaan.
Okay, maybe see you tomorrow night also, huh?
Yes, I will. There's no conference tomorrow as well. Thank you.
Okay. Next we have Atit. Atit, where are you from, Atit?
สวัสดีค่ะพระอาจารย์ Hello I live in Sattihip ค่ะ
Sattihip, okay.
Yes so I just want to ask you some question about meditation practice. You know that I used your way, like when we meditate we have to like put toe, but my problem is sometimes I want to say sometimes, usually my left side of this face, my face on the left side feel pain or sometimes tenses up, and when I meditate I feel uncomfortable I would say, and sometimes feel hurt on this side. So are there any suggestion in order to reduce this?
Yes, instead of using putto, you should do some chanting first, because your mindfulness is not strong enough, and your defilement is causing this pain to appear. So it means that you have to develop more mindfulness by do chanting, because when you chant you have to pay more attention to what you chant. So this will help you increase your mindfulness. So when you feel you cannot watch your breath yet, then just use chanting. Okay, can you remember any chanting by not opening up the book? Just close your eyes and chant mentally.
Like Putto or any other mantra, like.
Okay, you can use that also. You can, without having to worry about the breath. Don't have to watch the breath. Just Putto Namo Sangho, or use Puttang Saranam Gacchami, Dhammang Saranam Gacchami, or something like that. You need more space for your mind. We keep it. You still want to think, so let it think by chanting. Because maybe one word Putto might be too little for it. It needs more space. So you do some long longer chant, and see how it works. Okay. And after you chant for maybe half an hour, you might feel comfortable to watch your breath. Then you can stop chanting and just watch the breath without doing any Putto or chanting. Just watch the breath at the tip of your nose. And knowing it come in and go out at the tip of the nose. Just keep watching, that's all.
I think that I understand your point, because I feel like I know our life have many kinds of suffering. Our life is suffering. And I feel like I push myself too much, in order to meditate sometimes, because as you say, I have to make my mind more relaxed before I go to the next step, right?
That's right. By merely wanting to have success in meditation can cause you stress, because you're not capable of doing according to what you want yet. So you have to go step by step. Just try to relax your mind by chanting first.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Okay, next is Dahlia. Dahlia, I'm sorry, I cannot pronounce your name properly.
Hi, Ajahn.
Where are you from?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Well, I'm from Romania, but I live in USA for 30 years. But I came from Romania.
Yes.
I had many experiences meditating for like a decade now, but I got to a halt right now, and I need some guidance from you, Ajahn. Because I just lost my oldest son on the 21st, 38 years old, cancer. And 2 years ago, same time, my husband passed away. And now I'm with other 5 of our children, trying to raise them. But I got to the point that my mind is like numb. I don't know if I have no desires. I see that no attachment to anything in the world or the body. So, but also is not happy or sad. It just feels numb, like just go with the flow and nothing exciting what I can see around or in the world, or so I'm confused. Am I trying to hide or remove, or it just come to complete I'm afraid not to be nihilism, like nothing.
Well, I think your mind isn't yet calm enough to really accept this truth of impermanence. Deep down inside, there's probably some still longing or yearning for things, because you haven't yet truly see that everything impermanent, that they are all subjected to dissolution or to disappearance. And also your mind hasn't yet been calm enough to make you feel good, to make you feel happy. So this is this can be the result from thinking of impermanent, thinking about that, but still doesn't give you a sense of peace by understanding the nature of things. So I think you should try to do some mindfulness meditation first to calm your mind. Once your mind becomes calm and you look at things, look at the impermanent nature of things, your mind will not feel sad and it will actually become wiser and less attached to anything.
Yes, I think there was the attachment towards them, which has this kind of reaction, because I've seen the 5 elements leaving the body and the impermanence of my own and everybody else's. But that feeling of peace, it's not happy, it's not blissful, it's just dull and pretty like.
Yeah, you have to practice more mindfulness meditation to get the mind into equanimity, real equanimity. When the mind feel content, have contentment, have happiness, being alone and not having to rely on anything to make it happy. Right now, you still, I think, you're sort of being pulled between the wisdom that everything is impermanent and your desire for things to keep you happy.
Yes.
You have no other replacement. So you should use, if you can meditate, you'll get another replacement for your happiness. Then you can really let go of everything. You know that you don't need them or rely on them to keep you happy.
Yes, because I'm not, is no sensual desire anymore. It's now materialistic desires anymore. But I still link, I can feel this link I have between family, very close people to me, and my connection with them is still a knot there, which, if you can guide me, how can I release it so I can find peace in my mind through meditation?
Right now, you should stop thinking if you can. This is the problem. And thinking leading you to attachment, leading you to need somebody, something to hold on to. So you have to practice mindfulness to stop thinking and meditate to get your mind to become calm. Then you'll become independent of everything. Once you are calm, once you have jhana, you feel that you don't need to have anything to make you happy. See?
Okay.
Then you
because
can
I'm thinking in deep sleep is no world, is no me, is not my body.
That's right, the
and I
mind.
feel so blissful. So nice. It's a good sleep. And, because nothing, the moment you wake up, here we go again, all these thoughts of attachment towards everything, in the world, and the mind grasping on it. And here we come, and that's why I'm like Ajaan, you told me, like either mindfulness mantra, maybe, or something to help me release all this grasping to.
Yes, that's right. It comes from your thinking. All this grasping or desiring all come from your thinking. If you can stop thinking, or you forget about everything, then there's nothing for you to grasp after, good to go after. So I try and use mantra or chanting.
Okay.
And meditate to stop your mind.
Okay.
Completely for a while. Then you'll find peace and happiness. And when you come out of meditation, you can look at things in a different light and say, hey, I don't need this thing. I don't need these people. I can be alone by myself and still be happy.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ajahn. Very much.
I think mindfulness is very important practice. Mindfulness and meditation to get your mind to jhana, to equanimity. Once you have equanimity, your mind will have contentment and no desire, no grasping for anything.
Yes, because I want to say, I know he's not dying. I know, I'm aware that every body is me. Everything I see, it's who I am deep down. But the mind still has some defilements there that I
That's
need
right.
help.
The problem is not the body. The problem is the mind. And the thing that caused the mind problem is the defilement, the craving, the desire for things, for people.
The kilesas.
The kilesas. That's what we have to deal with, is to stop the kilesa by using mindfulness and wisdom.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I hope you feel better.
Thank you, Ajahn. Thank you. I already feel better. You talk to me.
Okay, good. Where do you stay in America?
Now I live in Las Vegas. I used to live in California, but after my husband died, we moved to Las Vegas. It's less expensive. It's better.
Okay, good. All right. I hope you maintain your mindfulness practice. Try to stop thinking as much as possible. Think only what you have to think. What you don't need to think, don't think.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, Ajahn.
You're welcome. Next is Sui and Czech from Vancouver, Canada.
Ajahn?
Hello, Ajahn.
Yes, anything? Any question?
No question.
No
Ajahn.
question.
Just Ajahn, like if when we are even if we you talked about the benefits of loving kindness before, the 10 benefits of loving kindness, and like there's one I think 2 of them is like people can't hurt you, people won't hurt you
by poison or by weapons.
But this is not
you'll be loved by people instead of being hated by people, because you do only good thing for people. So you help people, you give people happiness. You act like Santa Claus. Anybody hates Santa Claus?
But I was thinking about you on the 25th, Ajahn, because you said, "Oh, finally, Santa Claus."
But I'm Santa Claus every day. Now I have children, have poor people coming for food and for things that we collect from our bintabat every month.
I saw that, Ajahn. You give them the.
Every day is Christmas Day for me. I can only eat so much, and the rest, what do I do with it? I just give it away.
Only to children, Ajahn.
Older people come after we finish the round, and we have a pickup truck load of food, so they come and wait in line and get their share.
Yeah.
The children also. Before they go to school, they come and get the food here from our bintabat.
Before they go to school.
Yeah, before. These are poor people. Sometimes they just don't have enough food to eat.
Yeah.
Because they don't have any steady job. And sometimes they don't even have jobs sometimes. So it just so happened, things just happen. And just we have more food than we can eat, so we just give it away.
But this like I don't. This is not like absolute because like the Buddha, it has so much loving like kindness, but still that there are people that want to attack him.
That's because this is the past karma. This is an exception to the metta result. If you did something wrong to somebody in your past life, that person might come after you. See, like what the venerable Devadatta. They were sworn enemies from past lives. The Buddha and Devadatta.
So the even with that kind of metta, like the past
metta doesn't cover those people who hated you from the past.
But
that's because you did something wrong to that person in the past. So this person wants revenge, wants to get even with you. So no matter how much compassion or metta you give them, they don't care. They just want to. They will just kick your ass. That's all.
it's but so like from the way I read the story, the previous life, it doesn't make sense that why the Devadatta has still hate the Buddha, because he didn't do that. Like
he was envious of the Buddha because the Buddha always seems to be smarter than him. So.
Yeah. Like just that envy.
So he wants to show that he's smarter, like asking the Buddha for the permission to rule the monks himself in place of the Buddha. And the Buddha said, "You're not qualified." So he got angry at the Buddha and tried to kill him for 3 times. So
it could be like any it doesn't matter. Like sometimes if people are envy of you, like or it's, but generally speaking,
if people have no past issue with you, then there's no problem. If you show kindness to them, they will respond accordingly. But if you have some issue in the past, this kindness or this metta will not be able to get rid of those issues here. Like the Moggallana, he has issue with someone in the past. So he has to pay by losing his life, being killed. He's got a lot of metta, but with the past issue, there's nothing he can erase.
So the past karma is strong than like that it's stronger than the
yes than whatever you do. But eventually Devadatta came to his senses that he could not beat the Buddha, so he finally asked for forgiveness. Before he died, he offered I'm not sure what bone it is. The chin bone, I think, the chin bone to the Buddha, as a token of his sorry, of his remorse. So the Buddha said that by having this, he still had to go pay and to be in hell for the trying to hurt the Buddha 3 times. But because he has remorse, after he pays his debt, when he reborn again as human, he will continue to practice and become a Buddha, a future Buddha, but a silent Buddha.
The
Okay.
Buddha can already see all the Buddha can already know his future.
Yeah, the Buddha is like a forecaster, like weatherman. He can forecast.
Well, only the Buddha, like very special, like he has that psychic ability to see that. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Forecast.
Anything else?
No, yeah.
No.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Okay. Go to Sulan from Singapore.
Hello, Ajahn. Yeah, I got try meditating after you asked me to.
You have to speak louder.
Hello, Ajahn. Can you hear me?
Yeah, better.
Oh yeah. I just wanted to update you that I did try meditating after you reminded me on Sunday. Yeah.
And how did it go?
Yeah, it feels good actually. Yeah, because I think it's been a while since I meditated. Then I feel like when I meditate, then it feels good because my mind is just focused on the breath. Yeah.
Yeah, you should try to do it every day. It's like a mental exercise. You do physical exercise every day, right? But you should do mental exercise every day also.
Yes.
The mind needs exercise like the body to keep it healthy, to keep it strong.
Mm. Oh. And then sometimes when I was lying down and I was meditating, then I fall asleep.
Then you should get up and do walking meditation instead.
Oh. Okay.
You have to overcome your laziness, because laziness will not get you anywhere.
Okay. Oh, on this part on laziness, I think I heard a Dhammatalk that said that if the mind have very low energy, then maybe next life you may get born as like a sloth or like a slug. Yeah, I don't know if that was a joke.
No, I don't think so.
Oh.
Having energy is good for the mind. When you're born as a person, you will be energetic rather than lazy. Then you can accomplish a lot of work, a lot of things. When you're energetic, when you're lazy, you won't be able to accomplish anything.
Then does it mean that like a slug or a sloth that is like move very slowly and low energy?
Yeah, this is defilement.
Is there defilements, laziness that make them be reborn like this kind of characteristic?
Yeah, whatever you have now will go with you. Whatever you know, whatever you have in your mind, not in the body, but in your mind will go with the mind. The glasses you wear won't go with the mind because the glasses stay with the body.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So even like the defilements can manifest into like our physical attributes.
Sometimes, if you're generous, you're kind, you normally will have a good body, an attractive body. If you are mean and you are hateful, you usually don't get a good-looking body.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah. Can I ask another question?
Yes.
I was wondering, like just now, she was in a I think it's check that was mentioning about Devadatta, the story on Devadatta. Then I was just wondering, why don't the Buddha just ask him to go away, and then he wouldn't have this condition to actually make so many wrong.
Ask who to go away?
Devadatta. Like if the Buddha asked Devadatta to go away right from the start, then actually he won't have chance to create so much trouble.
But the problem is he could not tell Devadatta to go away. The harder you try, the harder he will stay. So the best way is not to try to tell him to go away.
Oh, okay. That's how it is.
That's how people work. See, with people, when you try to tell them to go away, they will resist your telling, and they'll do the opposite. You want me to go away? I'll stay. If you want them to go away, you just tell them to stay, then they'll go away. See, that's the psychology of people. People don't like to be told what to do. They like to do what you tell them, the opposite.
Oh, yeah, then that creates so much trouble, right? Like,
yeah, but the Buddha said, you look at Devadatta like the weather. So you cannot force the snowstorm you have right now to go away. You just have to weather the storm. So eventually it will go away by itself.
Then should one then try to outsmart the other person so that like just now you were saying, like instead of if you want them to go away, then you wish the other direction.
Yeah, you outsmart them, but then come back. They'll come back again. Say.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to let the hatred once its course. Once you hate somebody and you could hurt that somebody, then your hatred will disappear. If you hate someone and you can still not hurt that person, your hatred will not disappear. But only after when you can do something to that person, then your hatred will then disappear. So if you run away today, they'll go after you tomorrow because the hatred is still there inside their mind. So there's no other way. You have to accept that this is the only way is to accept your punishment from that person. Once that person has punished you, then he won't want to punish you anymore.
Oh, okay. Sounds like a good idea to let the person to carry on punishing.
Yeah, that's what the Buddha did. He didn't react. He didn't retaliate. But he has a lot of I can't think of the word, charisma or power that can protect him from all types of harm and danger. Elephant won't attack him. The rock won't crush him. And people who he said the Devadatta sent to kill him wouldn't kill him because he has the power of persuasion.
Power of persuasion. Then how to get this kind of power?
You just have to develop, have to think properly, think with common sense, think with rationality instead of thinking with emotion.
But I thought that the whole idea of practice is not to think too much. Then
that's the first step. The first step is not to think, to stop your mind, to get into jhana. But once you have jhana, then you have to start to think, to understand the nature of existence, the nature of things as being impermanent, as being anatta. Then you have to think in order to be able to understand why things are the way they are. because that's the way they are, because they are a work of nature. So there's two levels of practice. The first level is to stop your thought, to calm your mind, to make your mind calm and peaceful and rational. Once your mind becomes rational, then you start to think rationally. So that you can let go of your attachment to everything. If your mind is not rational, you cannot let go of your attachment. Even though you know it's bad for you to attach, but you cannot stop your attachment.
Yeah.
Okay. Right now you are on the first step, so you should try to stop thinking as much as possible.
Okay. Yeah.
And meditate until your mind becomes calm, peaceful, and rational. Then after that, then you can think rationally instead of emotionally or delusionally. Right now you're thinking delusionally because there's a self. You think by yourself, of yourself. So you cannot be rational that way. But when your mind becomes calm, peaceful, the sense of the self in you will diminish. It will allow you to think without a self. To think rationally or scientifically, not emotionally.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I think that's about all for the people who's in the room. Let me go to Facebook now if there's any question from Kunju.
Yes, we have at the moment 10 questions. The first 3 questions is from Pauline Soon. Question number 1, can Ajaan please explain about Asubha meditation?
Asubha is the opposite of Supha. Supha is beauty. Asubha is not beauty. So the body has two sides to it. It has a beautiful side and it also has a not a beautiful side. So we have to look at not the beautiful side, so that we can have a balanced view of the body. We can then keep the mind from being attracted or averted from the body, have aversion or attraction to the body. Go ahead.
The second question is, how do we practice contemplation of the 4 elements of the body?
Well, you have to be scientific when you think of the body. The body is made up of the 4 elements, which is the earth. The earth is solid. Whatever is solid is called the earth element, the solid parts of the body. And then the water element is the liquid part of the body. Our blood and everything, this is liquid. And also the third one is the wind. The wind is the air that we breathe in and out, into the body and out of the body. And the fourth one is the heat, or the fire element, which is the heat, the temperature that keeps the body warm. So this is the four elements that combine to create this body. The hair of the head, all the 32 parts has to be built from the 4 elements. So this is how you should look at it in a scientific manner.
The next question is, what is the process of enlightenment like? Can Ajaan please tell us?
Well, to see dukkha is created by your own desire, your cravings, your stress and suffering, your anxiety, your fear, all come from your cravings or your desire. And this craving and desire comes from your delusion, to think that the body belonging to you, that you are the body. You have to see that the body isn't you. Once you see that it's not you, it doesn't belong to you, then you will have no desire to have it, to keep it with you. Then you can let go of your body. So this is kind of enlightenment. To see the truth, that there's nothing that belongs to you. The mind, the body doesn't belong to you. Actually, there's no you. This is the complete enlightenment to be able to see that the you comes from from just a mistaken identity. The mind mistakenly mistake itself as a self, when in fact it's just not a self. It's just a knowing element, a knower and a thinker.
The next questions are from Wei Xiong Chua, and there are 3 of them. Question number 3, will indulging in sensual desire make a person lazy?
Oh no, it's not that. I think you have to be quite diligent in order to indulge in anything, because you cannot remain still. You have to go after what you want. If you want to see a movie, then you have to go find a movie to watch. If you're lazy, then you will not be able to see anything. But you might be lazy in doing things that you should be doing, like working. You'll be indulging in sensual pleasure all the time, and you will be lazy working. But you won't be lazy going after your sensual desire.
The next question is it possible to eliminate sexual desire completely?
Yes, by contemplating on the unpleasant parts of the body. Try to look at the body when it dies, for instance, when it becomes a corpse. Think of the body as a corpse. Think of a body when it's old or when it's sick, for instance. It doesn't look good. Look at the inner parts of the body. Look at the inside of the body. Look at the skeleton. Look at the organs of the body. Then you can get rid of your sexual desire.
The next question is, how do we deal with pain and uncomfortable of the lower back by not lying or leaning?
By meditation, by mindfulness, by keep reciting the mantra, or do some chanting to get your mind away from the painful feeling. You have to try to ignore it by concentrating on doing something else, like chanting or reciting the mantra. If you become absorbed in this chanting or reciting of the mantra, then you forget about the pain, and the pain will not bother you.
The next question is from Pauline Soon. How do we handle problems of separation?
We have to accept it. That life, this is the way life is. Everybody come here, live on this earth temporarily, and everybody will eventually have to depart from this earth. This earth is like an airport. Look at the earth as an airport. We passenger, we just pass by the airport to board our plane. We come into the airport to board, and we meet people on the airport. And then when the time for our flight to take off, we go and we separate from the people that we meet on the airport. So look at life like this. Life is just a temporary staging point, like an airport or bus depot, where we come, we meet, and then we have to go our separate ways.
The next question is from Ayi. Namaskar,ท่านอาจารย์. As employees, is it okay if we try to practice the 8 precepts when we still work in the office, still use makeup and dress only for necessities? This practice is not perfect, but at least it can suppress the desire to sing, watch TV, wear jewelry and perfume, and eat 1 meal a day. Or is it better to just follow the 5 precepts? Thank you.
Well, there's nothing absolute. If you can practice the 6 precepts, 7 precepts, or how many precepts you can practice, just do it. But if you find it's not possible, then you have to accept the situation. Then maybe it's not the right time to practice this precept. But if you can practice any precept, just go ahead and do it. It's good for you to keep the precept. But usually, when we talk about the 8 precepts, we're usually talking about meditators, people who do full-time meditation and having no other work to do, like living in a monastery, like the person who just came in the program early on, what's his name, who lives as a preceptor in the monastery.
Forest.
Forest town. But if you're normally working, it's not quite possible to keep the 8 precepts. But if you think you can do it, then it's good for you. But if you cannot, then don't worry about it too much.
The next question is also from Ai. Is it right if we do contemplation when we're not sitting in meditation? Is contemplation also one of the practice that can make us understand the Four Noble Truths? Thank you.
It does, but it's superficially understanding. It doesn't get into the real Four Noble Truths. The way to get into the Four Noble Truths, you have to first practice meditation to calm your mind first. Once your mind becomes calm, then the Four Noble Truths will manifest itself in the mind for you to see. But by contemplating, we're just imagining about the Four Noble Truths. We haven't yet seen the real Four Noble Truths. But we might have to, first when we start learning, we have to contemplate or study first. But this is not sufficient. You cannot become enlightened by studying alone. You have to do meditation practice and to see the Four Noble Truths that actually happening inside your mind. So there's 2 different types of Four Noble Truths. And the Four Noble Truths that we study or hear or imagine, and the Four Noble Truths that we experience in the mind. And we can only experience the Four Noble Truths in the mind clearly by first meditating to make the mind to become calm and peaceful.
The next question is from George Lim. Dear Ajahn, does achieving jhana guarantee rebirth in the higher planes of existence?
Yes, if you have entered jhana, in which you had entered the Brahma realm of existence, the non-sensual realm. See, there are 3 realms of existence, the sensual realms, and the other 2 non-sensual realms called Brahma realms, Rupa Brahma and Arupa Brahma realm of existence. If you have Arupa jhana, then you enter into the realm of Arupa Brahma. If you have Rupa jhana, then you enter into the realm of the Brahma jhana, Brahma realm of existence.
And the last question is from Metta Vandana. Please explain what to do when my mind keeps going into meditation mode, becomes very calm, empty, and the sound of silence is so strong in the middle of a task, like cooking.
Well, still continue cooking and leave the mind alone. When you have to do something, then you have to pay attention to what you do, not the mind. If you pay attention to the mind, then you might be not doing properly what you are doing. So if you're doing something, don't pay attention to your mind. Pay attention to what you do. If you're driving, you have to keep focused on your driving, not on your mind. Okay.
That is all.
All right. Next, anybody would like to ask any more questions? You're welcome to raise your hand.
Billy first.
Billy first. Okay.
Yes, Ajahn, I would like to ask about sexual desire. Sometimes we are attracted to the opposite gender, not only because of the attractiveness of the body, but sometimes it is more psychological, like maybe the person is kind to us, or maybe we like the person's personality, or we just feel comfortable with a person. So how to deal with that?
So wait until he dies and then see whether you still think of his personality or not. Will you sleep with a corpse, even though that corpse has a nice personality?
Okay.
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 See,
So it is still...
your defilement is trying to mislead you to think that you like the personality, but in fact you're not the personality. That's only a compliment, but the real one is the physical one. You like the physical part of the body. The personality part is just a compliment. That's all.
Okay, I see. So the real reason is still the attractiveness of the body.
That's right. That's right. Because once the body becomes a corpse, you won't sleep with that corpse even for just one night. just to say goodbye to that nice person.
I see.
Would you?
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Another question is just now Thanachan mentioned about we can only see the real Four Noble Truth when the mind is calm. I mean, how does it work?
See, when your mind is calm, it's like the water that is still, right? But when your defilement start to come into action, then it creates ripple in the mind. So you can see this ripple is dukkha in the mind. Like when you throw a pebble or stone into the still water, what do you get? You get waves, right? But if the water is not still, you won't see the difference. And when you throw a pebble or stone into unstill water, when you have lots of wave already, if you just put a pebble or stone inside, you won't see any difference. So your mind, when it's not calm, it's constantly agitating all the time, and you see it as being normal. See, but when you meditate and your mind becomes calm, then you see the difference between a calm mind and an agitated mind. And you see that agitation usually created by your defilement, your craving, your desire. So you see the Four Noble Truths, the real ones in your mind, after your mind has become calm first. Then as soon as you have cravings, then there will be ripples in the mind. You feel uncomfortable right away, as opposed to being comfortable when there's no cravings or desire. Okay, so that's why the practice of samadhi is very important. You cannot just skip this and say you can go straight to vipassana. Because you don't know when is the defilement is appearing. It's because it's constantly appearing all the time. Just like the lady early on, Delia, she think about impermanent, but she doesn't feel happy, because her mind's not calm. See, the mind still constantly is craving for things, even though by contemplating that there's nothing to crave for, because everything is impermanent. So you have to calm your mind first. You have to still the water first. If you have lots of waves in the water, when you throw something into the water, you don't see any difference. Okay.
Okay, I see, Thanachan. Okay, thank you very much.
I think everybody in this room hasn't yet seen a calm mind yet. And we've been talking this for almost a year or more now. So the agitated mind is talking about wisdom and the teaching of the Buddha. But it's all in the imagination, not in the real realm of the mind. Okay, who next? Who raised the hand?
Thank you.
Sulan, you raise your hand. Okay.
Oh, hello, Ajahn.
Go ahead.
Oh, I remember that on Sunday you mentioned that like festive season like Christmas, New Year is only short-lived, and then we keep looking forward to it. But then it is just over in a day. And then I just wanted to ask like how should we approach the upcoming New Year then? And with this, I would like to wish you a good New Year, and may you be well and healthy and live a long life. Yeah.
Oh, you should treat it just like another day, just like any other day. It's just any other day. We just only make it special because it's the end of the calendar. That's all. But it's just another day. The sun rises and the sunset. Everybody, things happen. You have the wind blowing. You have the dog barking. Everything is the same. We just in our imagination that this is a special day. That's all.
Oh,
Or it's an excuse to celebrate your sensual pleasure. That's all.
I see. Then how about like Vesak Day? Because we also celebrate Vesak Day.
You go isolate yourself and meditate instead. That's a better way of celebrating a new year, because you'll get the real happiness.
Oh, okay. That's a very interesting way to see it.
That's why in Thailand we have people go to the monastery now. It's a new practice. We go to chant at midnight to celebrate the new year. Instead of countdown, they do chanting instead.
Oh,
Yeah, in Thailand now, I think most temples will have this midnight chanting to celebrate the new year.
Then
To bring in the new year by chanting, not by counting down and drinking alcohol.
yes. Then do you also like do counting down?
I do in my room. I go to sleep. I count the sheep and I go to sleep.
Oh, that's also nice.
For me, it's just another day, another night. No difference from tonight.
Oh, another day, another night.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Still wish you a good year ahead.
Okay, we'll go to Kunjuk first, okay, for a while. Then we'll go to Biramin.
Yes, we have one question that came in from KB Leong. Ajahn, does one need to observe the 8 precepts and stay in seclusion when practicing wisdom, develop samadhi as object of meditation to achieve enlightenment?
Yes, you need to. But using wisdom, develop samadhi is really an exceptional case. You don't use it regularly. You have to have stress before you can use it. If your mind is restless and agitated and you cannot focus on your meditation object, then you might have to use wisdom to calm your mind, to let go of your attachment to the object of your agitation first. This is not a regular practice. This is an exceptional practice when you cannot use mindfulness to calm your mind. But normally you want to use mindfulness practice only when you have this exceptional case, like you lose somebody and you're sad and you keep thinking about that person, and it prevents you from concentrating on your meditation object. Then you have to study the nature of the person, whether that person is permanent or not permanent. When you see that it's not permanent and it's anatta, it's not under your control, then you can then let go of your attachment to that person. And then your mind can become calm, and then you can then continue on with your mindfulness meditation. But generally speaking, the 8 precepts is to allow you to have more time for practice, that's all. It stops you or prevents you from doing other sensual pleasure activities, like eating, drinking, eating, watching TV, or listening to music once. And this will take away the time from your meditation practice. Okay, Biramin.
Yes, Thanajan, just a quick one. Could you please explain what is vijnana and how we can identify it? I can identify the other 4 khandhas, but not vijnana.
Vijnana is when the eye see something, and when you know that you see something, that's the work of vijnana. When you hear something, if you can hear something, it means vijnana is doing the work for you. Vijnana is like a bridge that connects the sensual object to the mind. Without vijnana, like when you go to sleep, then you cannot hear thing or see thing, because you close your eyes or Or in the case of your ears, you don't close it, but the vinyana stop working temporarily. So you cannot hear anything because there's no mindfulness to maybe to direct the mind to receive what vinyana is sending to the mind. So this vinyana itself is not a problem. It's just a messenger, really. That's what it does. It takes the sensual objects from the body and send it to the mind, deliver to the mind. The problem is the sanya and sankhara. Sanya is perception. What do you make of the picture you see? This is the problem. If you see it's good, then this can cause you to have defilement already. If it's good, you want it, right? And if it's bad, you have aversion. You should see it as neither good nor bad because it's just four elements, what you see. But you don't have this because your perception is being controlled by your defilement, your delusion. So you need to study the Buddha's teaching to see that everything is anicca, dukkha, anatta. This is the truth. To overcome your own perception. Okay.
Yes, Ajahn. Thank you. That's very clear.
All right. Anybody else? Okay, check. Last question from you, maybe. Okay, last question.
You said the problem is the sanya and the sankhara. So, like, is it correct to think to say that at first we stop the sankhara and then with mindfulness and meditation, and then if you have the jhana, you can change the sanya.
You don't change. When you get the old sanya, then you should use the new sanya to override it. If you see something as permanent, then you should use impermanent to override your old perception. When you see things, you normally say, "Oh, this is good. This will be with me forever," right? Like when you get married, you're gonna live happily ever after. This is the wrong perception, because the true perception is not permanent. People get divorced after 6 months, but people don't want to think like that when they get married, right? Okay, so you have to override the old sanya, the old perception that has been programmed in your mind for a long time. When you see something that to you think is good, then you want it to last forever, to give you happiness forever. But nothing lasts forever. Nothing gives you happiness forever. But you don't want to think like that, because if you think like that, then you don't want anything. Then you say, "What's the purpose of living?"
So we cannot stop sanya, Ajahn. We cannot stop the sanya, but we can.
You can reprogram the sanya, from seeing it as being impermanent to see the opposite as true. Teach the mind the truth that everything is impermanent, everything is anatta, nothing belongs to you or being you. No self. See, right now when we see something, we see a person, we say, "Oh, this is a person." There's a person in this body. But in fact, there's no person in this body. The body is just a body. Just a part, the 32 parts. And it's impermanent. If you attach to this body, you're gonna get dukkha one day. And our goal is to get rid of dukkha. So we have to see the impermanence, the no self nature of this body. Then we will have no attachment to the body. Then we will have no dukkha from this body or anybody's body. Okay, clear enough?
Yes.
All right. I think that's about it for tonight. That's all about the time we have. Thank you for for your participation. I hope this meeting can benefit you somewhat and help you advance in your practice. In the meantime, please stay safe, stay mindful, keep on practicing, and if all goes well, I'll see you all next week, except for Philip and Adeline. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Okay. Thank you and goodbye.
สาธุเจ้าค่ะ
ท่านอาจารย์
Good night, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
I mean, thank you, Kunju. Sorry. Kunju.
Bye.
Good to see you.
Bye. Good to see you.
ขอบคุณครับป้าจุ๊บ
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
ครับ
สวัสดีค่ะ
เดี๋ยวหนูปิดให้ค่ะแป๊บหนึ่งนะคะพี่แป๊บหนึ่งนะ